Hello. Okay, we've moved on to another song of the week. And this is for low voice and high voice right now because I'm just going to talk about text. We are going to learn dun, 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 Caro mio ben. I think a lot of you know this song already, and I don't mind that. I think it's good. I think it would be really good for a lot of you to have already learned this so that you can sort of revisit the rules and kind of get your feet wet with Italian again. For those of you who haven't learned it, you're in for a treat. I think it is a beautiful song, and learning Italian is an absolute treat. It is so much fun. So don't be intimidated by it at all. I'm from Jefferson City. How do I know how to speak Italian? I don't. I can sing in Italian. I cannot speak in Italian. Okay, maybe I speak a little bit of Italian, but only when I'm in Italy. Begging for a gelato. I know how to say those things. So anyway, we are just going to go over some of the rules of Italian, okay? I'm going to do this really quickly. We have pure, beautiful, large, gorgeous vowels. We want to focus on the vowels. So an A is a, always. An E is e. Sometimes it's closed a, sometimes it's e. It changes. I'll show you the difference. It usually has to do with the accent of the syllable. It's not difficult though. If you do something sort of in the middle all the time, you're fine. That's totally fine. A, E, I. I is always E. Okay? It is like a bright, beautiful E. The second word in this is mio. And you've got it. Plain and simple. E. It's never I. It's never I. It's never anything else. It's E. And then O is almost always relatively open. O. It's not aw necessarily. It's O. It's a mixture of O and aw. In Latin, it's only aw. It's more open. But this is a derivative of Latin, and it just gives a little bit, it has a little bit more shape. So, mio, there's a perfect example. U is always oo, and we do have some, let's see, do I have anything else? I don't think I've forgotten anything. We do have some vowel combinations. They're not difficult like French or anything like that, and English has some difficult vowel combinations. This one, not difficult. When you see a U and an I, you make both of those sounds. We. Oo and E. We. Sometimes it's going to go ooey. Sometimes it's going to go we. It just depends on where you are in the word. Sometimes I-O together is going to go yo. Most of the time it's going to be io. So you're going to really treat them like two syllables. I'll show you the difference. I think that's it for vowels. As important as vowels are in Italian, they're not difficult. You don't have to remember it too much. And I highly recommend that you take the front page of your Italian song when I send it and just put those vowels right here. You might want to put a couple consonant ideas as well, but really, you can write those in as you go. If you have those vowels and you memorize those few vowels, it is so nice. You can always look back and be like, oh yeah, I is E. Okay, consonants. Let me give you a couple ideas here. There are two types of R in Italian. There's the rolled R and the flipped R. The rolled R, if you can't do that, that's fine. I'll show you an example of a way to do it a little bit differently. The other one is flipped R. The flipped R is used when your R is in between two vowels. So, let's see if there is one here. Oh, the very first word, caro. A and O are surrounding the R. That means you flip it. Every other time, you can roll. Even at the end or the beginning of a word, you can roll. So caro is different than carro. That means there are two R's, and that's a completely different word. I don't know what caro means, but it doesn't mean my dear beloved. whatever Caro means. I think it means deer. So the next measure, cre, there you have a really great example of you're going to want to roll an R. If you can't roll, give it a try. I mean, you have nothing going on this summer, right? So you can try, mess around and try it, walking around your house trying to roll your R. But in the meantime, if you want to make a really big shadow vowel in between the C and the R, kare, like ta-da, kare, you can do that and it can really sound like a passionate rolled R. It's supposed to be passionate sounding. That'll do. Here's the difference. Caro mio ben, flipped R. Credi mia ben. I even started the word early so that I could get that rolled R in. Now, if I do it with the cheat, the kare, it sounds like this. Caro mio ben, kare. That still has a really nice passion to it. It's not as great as the kare, but it definitely works in its place, okay? That's something to think of. Then we have some consonant combinations to think about, and I will do these as we go through the words. For instance, languisceil, when you have an S and a C put together with an E after it, it's a sh sound. It's not a sk sound. So it's basically the vowel right after it is telling you how to treat those two consonants. And that you're going to see that throughout this whole song. Let's start at the beginning and just get these words written in, okay? I'm going to teach you how to write them in. So, Caro. Easy to remember. If you want to use an open O, just do an O that's not fully filled in. Or just remind yourself that it's open all the time. It just depends on if you like to write everything in, it's an open O. Mio. Those are 2 syllables, but it's on a very, very fast note. But you want to keep it in mind. It's caro mio ben. It's quick. Caro mio ben. And that is a smiling e. Even though it sounds like it's open, it's not ben, it's ben, okay? The consonants make perfect sense. They're the same as our English consonants. Credi mial men. You see those 2 syllables put together on that one note? Those are 2 different words that share the same last note there. Credi mial men, okay? Senza. Here is a consonant that we don't have, a Z, well, we have that consonant, but we say Z. This is TS sound, sa. Just remember pizza. Senza, pizza. It's the same thing, and that's not senza, it's senza. That matters, whereas in English it wouldn't matter. We would lop it off and do a sound or something. Dite, change in consonant from English. It's not te, it's te. It has a little bit of the tongue in the way. It's called a dental T, okay? So the tongue kind of softens it. It's going to make it beautiful when you sing it. Listen to it one time. Senza di te. It doesn't explode. Senza di te. That just makes it a completely different language. It Americanizes it. So we want to just be all Italian for this. So remember that dental T. And then here's this crazy word we were talking about before. Languisceil. Like the rock, shale. Okay? We can combine all of those 2 syllables together at the end there and just make it one shale. So languisceil cor. Okay? And then cor. Don't forget you can roll that R at the end because there's no vowel after it. Now here's the cool thing. I just spent a ton of time on those words. Guess what? We're 2/3 of the way done with this song because it's ABA song form. So we just learned all of the words in the A section of the piece, which we will repeat at the bottom of the next page. All we have to learn is the B section of the words from the B section, and you have all the words down. So if this felt laborious, laborious, you're almost done. You're almost done. Okay, so bear with me. Here's the B section, top of the next page. So this is il, makes sense. We always have the I be an E vowel, and there's an L there. Now, it's not going to be eel like we would do. We swallow the L. It's going to be a really pure, thin, beautiful L just with the tip of your tongue. Il. And this is why Italian is so wonderful to sing, because we don't have a fat tongue getting in the way. Instead, we have a nice, thin, very delicate tongue to sing that beautiful vowel with. Okay, or to not get in the way of the vowel, really. Il tuo, tuo. Remember, sometimes we have two consonants that are, or two syllables that are very, very small, but you want to keep them 2 syllables. And that's not all on one 1/8 note. So here's how that goes. I'm literally splitting it up in half as if it's 2 16th notes. So you can write that in if you need to, because it really makes it beautiful when you start making it your own idea. It becomes a little bit smoother once you get the hang of it. Okay, next word, fedel. Now, E comes out a little bit more in that first vowel, and that's just the way it works, but I have not changed my mouth at all. Fedel. It really isn't that different. It's just with the consonants around it, it will change it. Fedel. Okay, so just remember to smile and keep a nice A vowel, and you've got it. Sospira, that's one word, sospira. The next word is oñor. Just think onion for that middle 2 consonants. It's totally familiar for us. Oñor, onion, same thing. So that G in you can put in Y. Own your. That's all it is. Own your own house. Okay, same thing. So don't feel like that's too foreign, even though the letters make you feel like it's foreign. Okay, cessa, crudel, easy. Tanto, don't forget your dental T. Rigor, and you get to roll those R's if you've got it. Roll them if you got it. And those are all of the words. We just repeat them over and over again. Not that much, but most Italian songs just repeat the same words. Okay, so let's say those in rhythm this time. Here's the beginning. Caro mio ben, credimi almen, senza di te languisce il cor. Next, let's just keep going and we'll repeat here. Caro mio ben, senza di te languisce il cor. That's a fast one. And notice that the second time when we repeat in the A section, that we don't sing the words credimi almen. We only sang that once. Okay, B section. That quick. Here's the B section. Il tuo fedel sospira ognor. So notice ognor and sospira get pushed together, and that rao just turns into one big messy gloopy mozzarella stick. So il tuo fedel sospira ognor. Cessa crudel tanto rigor. Cessa crudel tanto rigor. Tanto rigor. Here's the return to A section. Don't worry about that tie that goes back into the A section. I would breathe right back into the A. I wouldn't carry that. Caro mio ben, credimi almen, senza di te languisce il cor. Grace notes. Caro mio ben, credimi almen, senza di te. Fermata. What does fermata mean? hold that note. I would hold the top note though, because why wouldn't you? So I would go senza di te, as long as you want, and then wait for this chord. The pianist gets the first say at the end here. The whole thing kind of slows down on its own. It's already written in for it to slow down to twice the speed, half the speed. That's what I meant. So I hope you enjoyed this. I mean, I really do love the Italian in this song, and I think it is a great way to start learning Italian songs. Once you get the hang of it, there's not a whole lot more to learn. It's not like we have a bunch of other rules that I'm keeping from you. There is one that we don't really have an example, except maybe once. It's the double consonant. If you have two S's, it's cessa. You get straight to that consonant and you hold on to it. That's really the only one in here. When we have a song that has the word like diletto, when you have two T's, that's when it really gets fun. It's not diletto or diletto, it's diletto. It goes immediately to that double T and really can get exciting. We don't really have that in this song. So the next Italian song we learn, I'm sure will have some of those double consonants. It's really fun. And there are maybe a couple more things to think of, but that is really it. That's definitely it for this song, and it's just so much fun to learn another language. Please, again, do not be intimidated. If you have any questions, listen to this video a few times, get the hang of it. We will continue on with the language probably throughout the week, just to make sure that you feel good about it. The melody is memorizable. It's so simple, but it's also just so beautiful. You won't be able to stop singing it. So have a great one, and thanks for sticking with me. I'm really excited about the song of the week. It's going to be super fun this week. See you tomorrow.